Recording one.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, hi, everybody. This is Beth Moe, and I have today with me, I have Angie Monko, who is a dear friend of mine. We have known each other probably less than a year, I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
probably. And we just bonded immediately. She has the purest heart. I just absolutely love it. And Angie is the owner of Harmony Harbor Coaching. And so, I was really impressed with Angie because she just, like I said, she has this beautiful heart and she really wants to help women through struggles or any kind of their, personal trauma or just, being torn, how to say no to others, so that you can live a more empowered life. And I've done some coaching with Angie. She has one-on-one coaching and group coaching. And let me just tell you, she has helped me out tremendously. She's going to talk about some of the ways that she does that with women. I won't go into that because she is the expert on it.
Well,
But thank you for joining us today, Angie.
thank you for having me, Beth.
Oh, I'm
Just
so glad you're
curious,
here.
huh?
I said, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you. What was one thing that helped you from our coaching?
Well, first of all, I mean, you really read me. you know, you kind of you were able to see some of my, some of the things that I had, my limiting beliefs,
Hmm.
and the EFT really helped me. I love the EFT.
Okay.
So that was something that really that I do even now.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Um, so what I'd like to know from you, and then we're just having a conversation here. So,
Mhm.
and I'm probably gonna stop looking at the camera and look at you because it's one of those things there. It's hard for me to do that. Like it's like I want to look at you, not the camera. But um, when you think about what you've been struggling with, or what the women that you know struggle with the most, what would you say that is?
I think right now, I think just trying to do everything. I
Hmm.
think trying to be everything to everybody,
Yes.
being the brick, that solid, just the foundation for everyone. And I feel like sometimes they lose themselves, or I feel like I've lost myself many times in that role that we try to play. And that's, what about you? What do you see? Because you talk to more women and you have a group
Right.
and
Right.
things like that. So what do you find that are their struggles mainly?
Well, what you just said about trying to be everything to everybody
Mhm.
and putting themselves on the back burner and really sacrificing their self-care. Because
Yes.
as women, we've been taught to put everybody else first. And it is a recipe when you combine that with people pleasing. It leads to this unhealthy need to get other people's validation, or like to look for someone else for our opinion of ourselves.
Hmm.
And so we make, our reputation, our image more important. And so to sustain that image, we think we put up a facade almost,
Right.
and so because of this, what I'm seeing that women do is they do spread themselves very thin and they try to be
Hmm.
everything to everybody. That's a classic thing. And
Right.
so when you said that, I'm like, oh, that's right on. That's right on.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and I think, now, especially after all that's been happening in our world today, I think that self-care is so important. And I think that, women need to find their voice and they need to find um, their strength,
mhm.
and just be able to, really realize what their priorities are, what to say no to,
Yeah.
what to say yes to.
I feel like you're reading my mind because my
See,
business
we
partner,
did. We
I'm
did
serious.
bond.
Like Morgan and I were talking earlier today, my business partner, Morgan, and we were just talking about, what is the problem? What do you think the real problem is here? And it looks like there's a commercial. I'm going to skip that if I can. Oh, it's not. It's going to go through the ad. Um, so we were talking about what is the real problem, and it's that we don't prioritize ourselves, you know,
Mhm.
we don't. And self-care takes a back seat
Yeah.
to everything else, to everybody else. And it's just so ingrained. And one of the ways that we do this, one of the ways that we allow this is through distraction. We
Mhm.
get
Yeah.
distracted by like everybody else's stuff. You know, we get distracted by everybody else's drama.
Mhm.
And we do this for a reason. And do you have any idea what that would be?
Well, we'd have to take a hard look at ourselves. I mean, first of all, I mean, we'd have to, face our own fears, I
Hmm.
think. I don't know. I mean, that would be, mine is, I think probably fear-based, maybe a little bit of, um, doing the hard work sometimes, like avoiding the hard work.
I mean, you're just right on. Like you would think that Beth and I scripted this, but we didn't.
We didn't know.
Not at all. Like that was part of our thing. It's like, let's just do this off the cuff, no scripting whatsoever. Um, that's exactly right. So the reason that we focus on other people's stuff is because the alternative is that we would look inside of ourselves and figure out, what's our inner work in this world. Someone the other day had this great quote, um, and she said that we owe it to humanity to heal ourselves.
Mm,
We owe it to humanity to heal ourselves, not our
yeah.
children, not our spouse, And so it's very tempting to think that he or she or anyone outside of us is creating our feelings. That,
Yeah.
whatever, if we're angry, if we're sad, if we're jealous, if we're fearful, we really do believe, if you think about this, I don't care how enlightened anybody is, if we really look at our behavior, there's a part of us that says, well, they made me feel that way, especially like our
Right.
spouses, our partners, and our children. Well, if they hadn't have done that, cause and effect, I wouldn't be feeling the way that I'm feeling.
It's much easier to blame it on someone else than to say, I actually have the power and the ability to change the way that I feel.
Hmm.
Even though it may make me feel that way, I don't have to feel that way. That's a choice.
Right, right. So true
Yeah.
empowerment is knowing that whatever choice we're making, if we choose it, we cannot be a victim to it.
Yeah.
And so it can even be a choice of something that apparently we think we want or don't want. For example, with our health. I know you're in the health field. So let's just say we want to lose weight. Okay. And a lot of women do want that. And I want that. I would like to, but do I really want it? Do I really want it? Because if I really wanted it, I'd stop making excuses. And the truth is that carrying an extra 20 pounds of weight for me is not a big deal. I mean, I've looked at this,
Mhm.
I've examined it, and I thought, okay, if I really wanted to do it, I'd have to cut out some of the stuff that I eat because I eat healthy and I have a lot of energy. And so, but I'm just
Yes.
eating maybe at the wrong times of night or, too much of maybe my healthy sweets or, whatever.
Right.
And,
Right.
but if I really wanted to lose weight, then I would start to get serious about that. So
Mhm.
I had to get real with myself and say, I don't want to lose weight. Maybe consciously it would be nice, but the price that I feel that I would have to pay for that is just, it's not that important if I'm really
Right.
honest.
Right. And I come across that a lot, that and I even find that with myself with working out sometimes, I mean, there's a certain eh, you know, it's actually a journey, right? You have to it's like an onion, right? You have to peel the layers away and
Right.
find out, how badly is this? And sometimes it's an event in our lives that
Mhm.
really triggers us
Right.
or tells us, okay, this is enough.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to, because we can go on just being comfortable
Hmm.
and just the status quo type or whatever it is, just like you said, carrying around extra weight. but it's until sometimes something tragic happens or
Very true.
that life-changing event. And so, you know, I love that you help women through the peeling of the onion,
Hmm.
to get to the real source of what's holding them back. And
Right.
that's what I think you do and I think you do it so well.
Thank
And
you.
you and Morgan, are able to really talk to people and find out, okay, why are you distracted?
Mhm.
What's the real reason behind your distraction?
Right. Right. Yes. And we're in the business of transformation. We're in the business of helping people change something and hopefully do it permanently, right?
Right.
Sustainably. And the thing is, there's two ways that we'll transform, and you hit on one of them, Beth. And the first one is sometimes life hands us a very difficult situation. I call it like having a brick thrown at your head. We have to be hit over the head because we're
Yeah.
so obstinate, we're so stubborn. So we have to be hit over the head by life, something of contrast, and life's always given us contrast of
Yeah.
relativity, like, well, this is hot, this is cold, or whatever. And so that's one way. The way that Morgan and I choose to promote is really more of a proactive approach, that you're choosing that, what, I want to create a safe container for someone to actually transform something about their life that they're serious about changing and do it in a way that they won't get that brick across the head.
Yeah.
It's more gentle. It's not easy. It's still not easy, but it's
Right.
more gentle than the brick across the head, and it's proactive because we're actually creating the safe container for them to do that. But
Right.
they will not do it. Nobody will make a change unless they can really get present to what it is. And two things: their discomfort
Hmm.
and their desire. And so think about this. Right now, up until now, I have not really found that being overweight, 20 pounds overweight, has created that much discomfort for me. It just hasn't. Again, I'm
Right.
not suffering. Um, I feel healthy. I feel energized, right? And so it hasn't created enough discomfort. I could probably create more discomfort if I wanted to. I could think about how maybe if I released this weight, that I could be more of a leader, perhaps, step out and be less, well, be,
More confident, just more
yeah,
confident.
hide less, be more visible or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, but it's still not that painful because I don't mind being visible. I can be visible. I'm sure I hide still to some extent. But okay, so discomfort. We have to really feel into if I keep showing up the way that I show up right now, whatever that is. And so I'm using this example of weight. If I keep showing up the way I am with that, and I look a year down the road, 5 years, 10 years down the road, do I see a huge problem? No, I do not, because I know that I'm taking good care of myself, excellent care of myself. I know I have some mental stuff around the weight. It's probably a safety thing, that keeps me
Right.
wanting that extra protection from the world. Okay. So, but will it's just not, it's not that big of a deal for me. So there's not a lot of discomfort, even when I try to agitate it and create the discomfort.
Right.
Desire, then okay, that's the other way to help me motivate myself to create lasting change. So I look at my desire. Um, if I okay, imagine 1 year from now I've lost the 20 pounds. And is it that amazing? No. Because here's the thing, I know that if I don't transform my heart around that weight and really, like, why not, let me back up. If I want to lose weight and I have a desire, why do I want to lose weight or fill in the blank with any desire? Why
Right.
do I want that? And for me, it would be to feel more confident, feel more sexy. That's it. Like, those are the main two things. Maybe wear cuter clothes. um, but
You
if
wear cute clothes.
I don't do that, like, okay. Um, so the desire is not that strong either, right?
Right.
So can you see does
Oh
this make
yeah.
sense?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that's definitely you've hit it because most people that I talk to, probably 95% of the people that, want to lose weight, you can say they can say they want to lose weight, but there's probably very small percentage, maybe 5 to
Mhm.
8% that actually take it seriously. And sometimes, even with me, you that's why you go from diet to diet to diet until you make that absolute life change.
Right.
No more diet. And let me just say too that um, you know, you don't have to be skinny to be
Right.
healthy.
Right.
I mean, I want to make that clear. Taking care of yourself and maybe an extra, 20 pounds is, maybe your cholesterol numbers would be better, or, that I think that's the kind of change that you're the brick on the
Right.
head, okay, you've got to change this, otherwise pre-diabetic
Mhm.
cholesterol and all of the blood pressure and stuff like that. But I think just being aware and finding out, like you said, doing that work, just finding out what's holding you back from maybe being healthier or maybe more from, whatever decision it is that you're trying to make at the time, and being present and just
Yeah.
saying, okay, let's look at this realistically.
Yeah.
Why?
Being present, really feeling it.
Right, right. And it's I think it's just I think it's being honest with yourself,
It is.
and that's not always, we worry so much about what other people think and say about us, and I mean that's everybody, me
Yeah,
included. I mean that I think that's just,
absolutely.
I think, getting that thicker skin and saying, you know what, like you said about humanity, doing it for humanity. I think that's powerful. Could you elaborate on that just a little bit more?
Yeah. So, what is it? We owe it to humanity to heal ourselves.
Yeah.
So, what in the world does that mean? It's profound, and it's true because when I can, if I just worry about the one, meter around me, you know, um, and focus on how can I be really real with myself and get present to, okay, I've been saying that I want this, I want this, I want this. Why do we want to build a business? Why do we want intimate connection in our relationships? Okay. Why do we want to lose weight? Like, examine any desire that we have and then really slow down, connect in. I put my hands over my heart because this is this is just my way of let me get real with me, you know, put my
Yeah.
hands over my heart, close my eyes, take a deep breath, feel my feet on the ground,
Mhm.
and really get real. Why do I want these things? And examine what emotion am I trying to have once I get to those destinations? What is that exactly? Why do I want to build my business? Why anything? Okay. And when we can really get present, and we have to slow down to do that, we have to slow down. We may find that, okay, I want to grow my business by 25%. I'm just making this up. And that would mean blah, blah, blah. I'm doing it like in my head, I'm thinking that would mean that I would make 10,000 a month. Again, I'm making all this up. The numbers aren't important. But if I made that much money, how would I feel about me? Well, I'd probably feel good about myself and I would feel more confident about myself. I would feel more safe in the world, that my needs are going to be supplied and provided for and so forth. So then we go a little deeper. Well, okay, if that's what I'm wanting to create, what if I started doing some activities that help me to feel that way right now? Okay. Instead of thinking that I have to reach some destination to do it.
Right.
So if it means that I have the ability, and we all have the ability to feel our feelings and to get present to ourselves, to connect in. This is really about self connection. Self connections, like the name of the game.
Right.
And And so if I can do that now, I don't need to chase after some elusive goal because it's not going to make me happy in the end. That's the part that I want people to know. No matter what it is, it's not going to make anybody happy. It's not sustainable. It's not
Right.
real.
Yeah.
So if we can really get real to our feelings and start creating and make it our intention to connect in with ourself, then to me, that's a more long-term accomplishment
Yeah. And
for
you know,
happiness and well-being. I'm going to drink water.
you say keywords, intent, sustainability,
Hmm.
you know, even the motivating factors have to be genuine. Money's not always the motivating factor, right? I mean, you can say you want $10,000, but when you sit down and you write down, like, say you're in business, for my business, what do I need to do in
Right.
order to get that? Or if I want to lose 20 pounds, what do I need to do? And you need to sit down because, there are steps that you have to take and you have to do them daily, even if you
Mhm.
don't see the results,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, staying on that path that you decide, it can be hard, I think. I
Mhm.
think it's, you lose your vision, and that's something that it's happened to me, and I feel like that's what I struggle with right now too. I feel like I've lost my vision. So, and I think a lot of people have lost their vision. They just need to sit down, like you said, put your hand over your heart,
Mhm.
and really connect with yourself and find out, okay, what is it? What is, because I think it has to, you have to do something more for others sometimes than yourself.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
you do, and well, no, I don't want to say it like that, because I don't want to say that we do things to please others, but in order to help others, we have to help ourselves first. It's like the mask on
Right.
the airplane, right?
Right.
You have to
Right.
put your own oxygen on first before you can help someone else. So you've got to find out what it is. What's your motivating factor? What's your
Yes.
drive
And then
before
when
you
we
can.
do that, transformation will be much easier. It's still scary because we're leaping off into the unknown. But when you have somebody like Morgan and me to hold that space, to hold that container of, you know what, we're going to support you along the way and you're going to be fine. Okay. Because it's
Mhm.
scary because the ego mind freaks out when we go into the unknown. But the number one key, first of all, is to get present to what is the discomfort of what you're doing, how you're showing up. Because how we are showing up right now, whether if we're overeating, again, drawing these analogies, maybe we're procrastinating with our business. Maybe in our relationships, we say we want intimacy, but what we're doing is we're not making any time for our partner. Okay. We're not having any close conversations or whatever. So we got to look at our current activity, what we're really doing, that tells us what we want on a deep subconscious level, our results. Okay. So to
Right.
change that and to be no longer the victim to our choices, we have to claim it. We have to own that, like for me, I don't want to lose weight. I do not want it. And if I did, I would have to work up that desire and I'd have to work up that discomfort to show me why I want a different reality. But if in the meantime I say, I choose to be overweight and I am okay with that, that's more empowering because I'm lining up with reality. Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's going, most of the time we go through, we're in complete denial.
right, right.
You
Yeah.
know, yeah. And I think that I love this because this is what you do with women. You
Mhm.
in harmony coaching and with Morgan in your group, and you also do one-on-one
Right.
sessions. Of course, this is just the surface. You do so much more. You help people with the hard work, the hard, making the hard choices, um, and just empowering them. And I
You
just
help them
think that,
to heal the heart.
yeah. Well, so explain that real
Yeah.
quick, if you can,
Yeah.
briefly.
That's an easy
I
thing, right?
know. Yeah,
Help
we've got about
people.
a half hour.
I could go on, but so
Me
help when I
too.
talk about we owe it to humanity to heal ourselves. When we heal the heart, that's what I'm talking about. When we heal the heart, we create our own self connection. Okay. And when we create our own self connection, the reason this is so vital right now, Beth, is because there's so much disconnection right now with
Mhm.
people, with each other, right? So much disconnection and lack of harmony and lack of unity. And when we start to create that unity and that connection within ourselves, healing the heart, guess what happens? Like, we have more intimate communications with people. We feel more love, we're loving others, and it's no longer, well, what can they do for me? This sounds cliche, but it's like, what can I do for them, to bring a little more
Mhm.
joy into the world or whatever. And so when we do that, when we create that connection, that honest, real connection, we create bonds with people, and life feels so much more fulfilling and so much more rich. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's that. So when we heal us, we influence everybody around us, and then they say,
Mhm.
oh, oh, wow, I can actually love, I can open up, I can trust. So that's the desire, right? When we heal ourselves. But on the other side of that, Beth, and this is what's really, this is happening right now. And I know a lot of people in this boat, they're not in connection with themselves. And as a result of that, they're not in connection with other people. And here's what they feel as a result of that: they feel lonely, they
Mhm.
feel resentful because they're blaming other people for their own feelings, and they're feeling disconnected. They're feeling aimless without a purpose.
Mhm.
And what happens as a result of this is that at the best scenario, they feel unfulfilled and dissatisfied and disconnected. That's at the best. But at the worst, so because it gets worse when they have this perpetual disconnection with self and with others, because it's with self first and then with others, our suicide rates are climbing because
Mhm.
of depression.
Yeah.
This is depression. This is, sadness, depression. And when they lead out of connection with self, they become depressed and lonely. And that leads to suicide. I mean, that's at the worst, right?
Right.
So there's a
Right.
lot at
And
stake
then, and
here.
we are at the worst, I think. I think,
We are. Yeah.
yeah.
So this is important. This connection piece is absolutely everything. And so I wanted to share with, I was thinking about this the other day, like, what can I give women to help get to jumpstart them onto the path of being a loving self advocate, which is someone who is connected with herself, and then she can influence other people out of love. And what I thought of, based on my experience of being in business with Harmony Harbor Coaching for 13 years and helping women and helping myself, is I thought, I want to give them a process, and not something that they have to think about, because they're already overwhelmed. They already
Right.
feel like, oh my gosh, I have so much to change about myself. I don't even know where to begin. So
Mhm.
the idea is to give them a little one sheet, and it's about slowing down to self-care. And it's a empowerment morning ritual. And there's three things, and this is how I suggest that they do it. And I will attach in this in the comments or whatever below, um, this one sheet that they can get. And when they click on that, they'll sign up for my email list. Okay.
Okay.
So it's a way for them to opt in and to start to build a relationship with me. So the first one is called JTM, and you're probably familiar. It's very, very simple, but J stands for journal. Okay.
Mhm.
So specifically, I'm asking, this is how a woman can jumpstart her self-care and her own self-connection. Okay. So that she can be that light to other people and be happy, be fulfilled, so that she'll
Mhm.
start taking actions to release the weight, to build her business, to do the stuff, to have the intimate connections. Okay.
Yeah.
Journal number one, journal for 5 minutes. Set your timer for 5 minutes and journal. This is specific, your feelings. Okay. Can't
Yeah.
be, oh, this is what happened today. Yes, you could do that, but why not have the most effective time? Okay. So
Right.
journal the feelings. I'm feeling angry, sad, depressed, whatever, fill in the blank. I'm feeling this way because. And then do it for 5 minutes. And the next line, I'm feeling this way because I'm feeling, to get them in touch with their emotions. That's number one. J, that's the J. T is to tap. And
Mhm.
that's that emotional freedom technique, which is it's a simple way to help release the emotions, to help calm the nervous system, and to empower them. I fell in love with tapping and back in 2007. It's been a major part of my healing. And what I'm explaining to do is what I do every day. Okay. So I journal for 5 minutes and then I tap using this release technique. It's based off of the idea of acupuncture, but it's
Right.
acupressure. And it's a very, very powerful, simple technique.
And
And
that's
it,
something that you teach also.
yes, oh,
So I just
for
want to
sure.
let everybody know that that's something that you, yeah,
Yes. And if they say,
absolutely.
but oh, that's too complicated, I don't know what to say. Okay, that's a big complaint. Women say, I don't know what to say when I'm doing this tapping because you're supposed to speak. You're supposed to
Mhm.
say something. Well, here's what I'm going to say to that. Read and tap what you just wrote in the 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Tap. Oh, okay. That's simple enough. You can't mess that up.
Yeah.
Perfectionism will kind of come in and say, oh, well, I'm not doing it right. So I can't do it at all. Right?
Well, perfection is not,
Yeah.
that's a
Yes.
great procrastinator.
Yes. Yes. So I can give more information on the tapping and how to do it. It's very simple. And the M is the JTM process is meditate. And
Mhm.
so again, you're journaling for 5 minutes, you're tapping for five, just reading what you've written if you don't want to do anything else. And then you're meditating for 5 minutes. Now, I meditate longer than that, but this is a beginning process, right?
Yeah.
And it's it's the thing that we do every single day that is the most effective. And so this is a ritual. Okay. And the reason I call it a ritual, you can add this little JTM process on to any other thing that you're doing. Maybe you read literature. Okay. Whatever it
Mhm.
is, but you can tack this 15 minutes on, or this could be it. This would be what you do.
Right.
Um, it will lead us out of the path of victimization and feeling like we're not enough and feeling overwhelmed. This will do it. This will really be a huge thing to help move one forward. It's a ritual because it needs to feel comforting and nurturing to you.
Yeah.
That's key. I add in soft music. I also make a special matcha green tea with it. And I also make a special cookie that's very low in sugar, but it's healthy. And I have it with my tea. So you can make it special. You can make it very
Your
relaxing.
time, your
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And the thing about it too is that you can't love others if you don't love yourself first, right? I mean, and I mean, I am a firm believer. I mean, the good book tells us, to love one another.
Right.
And
Right.
I mean, that is what we should all be striving to ourselves to be doing. But we've got to love ourselves. And I'm not saying, oh, I love me, it's
Right.
not that. It's I love deeply and care about myself and,
Yes.
and just my happiness, because when I'm happy, I can make others happy,
Right.
not appease others, not make them happy and make me unhappy.
Right. Right.
I can be happy in helping others. And we've all done it I mean, especially as women, I think we do that a lot,
Right. Right.
you know.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
we
I
don't have
love
to be
that. I love that
thank you,
about the
Jason,
journaling, tapping,
and
meditating.
meditating. five
Yeah.
minutes each. It would be perfect. And then you can declare this is enough. Like I don't have to do a ton of things. My 15 minutes of me time is enough. Right.
Yeah.
And that keeps us out of the overanalysis of the mind that's saying it's not. Because it's
Yeah.
that lie. Right. Any fear-based thought is really a lie.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
that's how you know
yes.
the truth. Is it false evidence appearing real? Fear, we that's how we know to discern. Is that a lie or is that the truth? Well, if any worrisome thought comes into our head and says, "Well, this is how it is," like we can be assured that we don't need to trust that thought. Okay,
Mhm.
we don't need to trust that.
Yeah.
Okay, if it comes from love, we
Yes.
can. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
think we need
So,
to wrap up.
yes, I know. And that's what I love about you is that you really hit on so many subjects that we as women, and you have dealt with these. Yeah, I mean, you have found a way to help you because you've had trauma in your life, you've had loss, you've had, and we all have, but
Right.
you have learned how to help others work through that as well. And I think that is just so incredible. And you do such a great job at it. I mean, you're
Thank you.
just, you really care about others. So real quickly, I know, tell us about, you have a retreat coming
Yeah.
up. Is that
Yep.
correct?
Yes. So uh, I am going to put a link that has this one sheet, and when you do that, you will get invited to this retreat. So you'll get like 8 emails over the course of a couple of weeks. And it's about inviting you to an event that I have coming up the end of June. It's the last weekend of June, Saturday and Sunday, June 26th and 27th,
Okay.
from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. It's a free event. It's on Zoom. It's for women only. And it's called Let Go of What They Think. And we will take a deeper dive into everything that we've talked about today. And it's about freeing you up, to move forward and to
Yeah.
really connect with self so that you can connect with others. So June 26th and June
And
27th. And I will also,
okay.
like I said, once they click on this one sheet, they will be put into my email list and they will get an invite to this event.
And I just want to share with everyone. I mean, this is for you. This is taking a deeper dive. Just be open to different ways to heal and to learn and to grow. I think that's the biggest thing, is to being open to learning new things, to taking away some of the bad habits and replacing them with good, healthy habits that will help you be stronger,
Mhm.
make better decisions. And Angie, she has a gift. I mean, she truly does. So, take a look at it. I really want to encourage you. It's helped me. I love Angie. We've become good friends because of this. And, she's just everything we've been talking about. I think other people are struggling with, and other women are struggling with this too, and just need direction and guidance.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for doing this for me, and others
Well,
as
thank
well.
you for letting me speak to the people that listen to you and who follow you, because you're amazing in yourself.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Well, you have a dinner party to go to. So thank you so much, and I will see you soon. And everyone, thank you for joining us. I hope you have gotten something out of this, and click on her link down there and get started.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.